Say hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to our day.
Welcome to our
Oh, good boy.
day. Our day, rock and roll.
That was the best. Hello. So, I've just put the stamps on the pen pal post. So, as I said yesterday, I will show you what they look like. So, here they are. There's number 1. These are really good, particularly when you've got like really decorative post. To be able to put it all into one stamp just makes it a little bit more easier. So there's this one. What?
I'll tell you in a minute.
This one. This one. And then my big one, I've got all of these on. Yes!
Good.
Told Abba we need to vlog, so she led like that.
Did I?
Yeah, we need to vlog. You gonna strike a pose? Strike a pose.
You're not aiming at my face, Mommy.
Strike a pose. Is
Girl, well done. That was adorable.
Was it because the camera wasn't on your face?
Yeah.
You clever shit.
I know. I'm cute, aren't I, Mom?
Yeah. Hey, back up. No.
I can probably smell your things.
Strike a pose. Yeah.
I like to catch you off guard, Mom.
Yeah.
Calm down. You're not aiming at my face.
Get your chops away. I know you're. I know.
Sounds like some kind of cream
Go see Mummy. You've got a hair in your eye.
cleaning product. Video. Come here. Where's your hair?
Oh, hello. You're not blurry.
Which eye? Which eye is it in?
The one closest to me.
Okay, let's see.
This one's better today. Fernie went home. Apparently as soon as she got home, she went into her bed and sulked, which apparently she does all the time.
She didn't come out till about 7 o'clock when she decided she was hungry.
Oh.
She went home at 4-ish.
These girls have been pretty much knackered as well. Yeah, because we have normal dogs.
Yeah, I'm just a human. I'm down.
Oh, what a nice bed there is.
Yeah, this is pretty good for me.
Linding.
Yeah, and belly rub.
Yeah. She's squishing me. And then there's Dixie like proper looking in the camera. But anyway, we were going to discuss, after these girls were being really cute, for those that don't know, today marks the end of Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Week. And generally, the last day, which quite often lands on the 15th, from what I can remember. Like, it's rarely that it's not the 15th for the Wave of Light. For some reason in my mind I always think of it being the 15th. But anyway.
Maybe they do it so that it lasts on the 15th and not necessarily Friday to Friday or whatever it is.
Monday to Friday.
Yeah, maybe they just do
Possibly.
it. I don't know.
But on the Friday, the last day of the week of however the week goes, it's called a Wave of Light. And basically, it's just, since social media is so big, it's a way that people light a candle and it goes on social media, and it just allows every person involved with pregnancy or infant loss like, no, Dixie,
It's inappropriate, darling.
you keep moving, and I keep having to move as well.
And Albert keeps sinking because you keep moving. She's going to fall off the bed in a minute.
But yeah, it's anybody who's involved with it or wants to be a part of it. Basically, you can light a candle, and a lot of people put it on social media, and it just brings the community together, and it helps just raise awareness of what's such a taboo subject when it shouldn't be.
Oh my god.
She nearly fell off the bed.
Oh, are you okay, princess? Did she stand on you?
I think she put her elbow in her. For those that don't know, we have 3 angel babies, Sky, River and Quinn. We lost Sky in 2015, River in 2018 and Quinn in 2019. We haven't really tried again since because of lack of consistent donors, to be honest. Obviously we do want to try again, but lack of donors, and also like there's that worry of having another one, like another miscarriage, and it's like, can we put ourselves through it? And it does suck, and there's so many stories that we've read where people have had 8, 9 miscarriages and they do end up go on to have a rainbow baby, which is a baby after a loss. But to
go through that many.
I don't think I could go through having 9 miscarriages for to try for that one baby that survives. It's difficult because even though there is that worry, there is so much inside of us that wants to be parents.
Yeah.
Before anybody says, why didn't you adopt, we've tried and we got discriminated against because I'm in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So we've been through that, and it is difficult. And even when we lost Sky, we didn't tell anybody. We kept it to ourselves, mainly because it would be difficult. We didn't tell anybody that we were even trying for a baby or that we were pregnant. And in our minds it was like, how can we then come out and say, oh, we were pregnant but we lost the baby? And it just didn't seem right.
And because it was an early loss, like before the first scan,
we didn't have anything.
But yeah, because it was such an early loss, a lot of people don't consider that a miscarriage. A lot of people just would say it's a late period.
Or we've had some comments before like, oh, at least it was early on. It's like, well, it's not that. Sometimes that can be worse because we have nothing to show for that baby. Like, we know that we were pregnant, we had positive tests and whatever, but like sometimes in my mind it's like, what I would think I would have preferred to have like a baby born past 24 weeks or a stillbirth or something like that, because you get to see the baby still at the end of it and have something tangible to hold, whereas we have nothing. And I think that is one of the hardest things, is that we've got teddy bears and like all the stuff that we've bought, but
we have no actual image in our mind of what our child would have looked like.
No. And it does suck. So whether it is an early miscarriage or a late miscarriage or a stillbirth, you're
still losing a child.
Yeah. And obviously we didn't know until I think it was probably either the first or the second miscarriage, like how common miscarriages actually are. Like, I think because people don't talk about it enough, people don't realise that a huge portion of women have miscarriages and didn't even know that maybe it was something that ran in the family or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I knew that my mum had a miscarriage before, so I knew that it ran in our family. Plus I've got PCOS, which it can result in miscarriage, but it's still a shock. And I think it is time that the subject wasn't taboo and people were told to hush about it. I mean, we wrote a letter to like all of our family members when, I think it was when we lost Quinn, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Because we hadn't told anybody. We were struggling because we hadn't named the babies, and for our own sanity we decided to name them and do shadow boxes and just trying to help with our healing. And like at the beginning we felt so good because we had told our families, but then we would write their names in the cards and things like that, and there'd be comments from some people saying you don't need to write their names in the cards and it's not normal and things like that. And it's
and like from some people, like friends or family, I'm not saying specifics, but some other people who have had miscarriages or stillbirths, they commented sort of saying, well, I don't do it, so why are you doing it? And it's just
at the end of the day it's your loss. It's your baby and or babies, and you should be able to feel you can do whatever you want. And it's unfortunate that it's not the case of that. So we have done videos before talking about our losses, and with it being the wave of light tonight, we just wanted to basically just remind people that it is shit. Loads of people go through it, and the subject needs to be something that can be freely talked about.
It needs to be normalised.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like even with the case, like when we had our first miscarriage, we didn't tell our parents. We tell our parents quite a lot.
Yeah.
And it just didn't seem possible to tell our parents. I think it was because it is such a private thing. And obviously, like I said, like they didn't even know we were trying for a baby. So to come out with it and then be like, oh, but this happened, it does make it awkward. And it leaves you to the point of, well, how do you even go about bringing this subject up? So yeah, just something we done was just write a letter. We just wrote down our thoughts. I mean, we did write in the letter to not bombard us with calls and texts and whatever else. That went out the window. Because my mum rang Soph's parents text because they wanted to check up on us, but it allowed us to put it into words and just send it to everybody and let them know without having to go into too much detail or to have to constantly repeat yourself however many times for each family member.
And also, if you know someone who's been in a relationship for a while, or they've just got married or civil partnership or moved in together or whatever, whoever it is, try to consider not asking people when they're gonna have babies or like start a family or however you phrase it. Try not to ask people, because you don't know. Some people just don't want children, and that's absolutely fine. Everybody is different, but there are other people who may be going through these difficult journeys like infertility and pregnancy loss and infant loss, or all of these things that you might not know about.
I mean, when we first got together and then we got married, like we got together, got engaged, moved in with each other, got married all in the space of 2 years, and not like we also had a dog as well. And then not long after, we were trying for a baby, but we were getting quite a lot of questions from friends and families. Oh, when's the baby coming? Have you found a sperm donor? Have you done this? Have you done that? And it's like, it does put pressure on you, and
especially when these people know how much you want it.
And we know it's heartfelt and whatever, and they're excited for the next stage of a relationship, whatever. But that pressures can cause stress, which can then cause miscarriages. That's not the case with us, but that can happen to people. So it's like, just because somebody has got together with someone doesn't mean that it has to flow in the normal 1960s style, move in, get married, have a baby. It's also difficult as well because with the modern times now, a lot of people want to do their career first, make sure they have a steady income, a home, and then have a child. Obviously that's not what happened with us, and we would give anything to have a child tomorrow. But yeah, adoption's out the window, and we know obviously at the moment with our weight it wouldn't be good to try again at the moment, which is why we're considering other options. So yeah, we know that being fat isn't great for getting pregnant and things like that, so yeah, we do have to wait. But like, I have this huge fear, and I say to Soph often that it's been my dream to have a child whilst my nan's still alive, and my nan's what, 76, which isn't really that old still. Like, a lot of people still live for another 20 years, but I'm 30, I turned 30 this year, Soph's turning 28 this year. My nan's got all these horrific things going on with her heart and everything else.
We've already lost 2 family members who, like, in the past 2 years, and then, like, we've lost several of our grandparents, and
it's shit.
It is, and you just think that all of these people, like, the last thing, we don't want any more of our family or friends or whatever to not meet our child or our children.
And we know that every year that goes by, the chances of them not meeting is getting closer and closer. And like, it sucks how, like, with a man it's just sperm endlessly, and yet for a woman you are handed the amount of eggs before you're even born, and you can't get any more back. So
obviously when we say man and woman, we're doing, like,
yes,
typical sort of assigned at birth genders.
And like in our situation, we are 2 women and we need sperm, and we're doing it that way. So we know that the biological clock is ticking, and
we feel it.
yeah, it's just so hard. And you'd probably think, well, why didn't you do something more about your weight? And it's difficult because having the baby losses, like, and then like the chronic illness stuff and whatever, and then all the losses, like, of our relatives these last 3 years, it's made us gain more weight. And then obviously there's the depression, fear side of the fact of thinking, well, are our grandparents going to meet a grandchild? And then that just makes us depressed as well. And it's like, it's a vicious circle.
It really is.
And yeah, it's just, we worry about having another miscarriage or something awful happening and not being able to cope with it again. So yeah, we just wanted to let you know that if you are going through that or have gone through it, you are not alone, and don't be afraid to talk. Keeping it locked up is probably the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
I mean, Soph and I had each other, but we still needed more, like, further support.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, our social medias are in the description box. If you do need to talk to somebody, we will be there for you. Obviously we can only do a certain amount, and tell you through our experiences and how we done things, but it isn't easy. But yeah, just keep out for next year for, like, this baby loss awareness stuff in the October time, and maybe you can light a candle in memory of somebody else's baby that may not have made it.
Or if you're on oxygen, do what we did.
Yeah.
And turn the light on.
Yeah, I've got.
We'll put the picture in here.
Yeah, we've got a light at the back that's in the shape of a heart, and we put it in there. So when we're in a situation where it's not good with the oxygen, we don't light candles. So this was our take on it. But yeah, you're not alone, and work with us to try and end this taboo, and know that it's okay to talk about your angel or angels. So, because you would talk about your grandparents if they had passed, and this is no different. Alba, thank you. So, for now, we're gonna go chill out, and my arm muscle is dead. Feel my muscle here.
Bloody hell. It's solid.
You can't see the effect of it.
No.
But anyway, thanks for coming on a stay with us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Night, everyone.
Good night.